This channel is made possible by viewers like you. My viewers, subscribers, and patrons greatly help to keep this channel going. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you. Please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any uploads. And if you'd like to go the extra mile, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you'll get access to what I'm working on, previews of upcoming content, and even early videos, along with other tier options for those that are interested. Thank you, and now on to the video. So I just started playing a new roguelike top-down shooter called Schism. From the outset, I really like the old school look of it. It looks like if the NES had made games like this back in the day, paired with these visuals and even down to the sound effects. Just from my brief time with the game, it does appear to be another one of this type of game. Like, I have played stuff like this before, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I like what I have played. It appears to provide a bunch of options to keep runs interesting. So while yes, it is familiar, it does keep the player engaged. And back to the most important aspect for a game, it has that fun factor. Shooting in the gameplay is pretty fun. You get an assortment of guns, abilities, and even passives that can both help or even hinder you, depending on what you are doing. The game also makes use of that switch the color mechanic. For example, if you are red, then red attacks will not hurt you. If you are blue, then blue attacks will not hurt you. You need to keep switching in some of the tougher fights. While on a run, there is plenty to unlock and grab. Everything from newer weapons, abilities, and even level ups as well. Much of this comes down to player choice. What will you go for, and then forego depending on the situation. This even extends to exploration. I really liked how I felt like I didn't know what I was going to find around each corner. Add on to this that outside of the main mechanics, you are just then learning as you do. So that could mean going into a room, selecting an option that puts a debuff on your player, or even something that could trigger a harder boss fight right there, and you really weren't prepared for it. Winning is satisfying, losing is frustrating, but at least you can take back points, and the knowledge you learn from that encounter. Back before a run, you can select different modifiers for your run, along with even playing around with a gambling machine to get some more money, to allow you to have some assistance while on your run. It seems like this area is more populated as you go deeper in the game. But just from the outset, I like these options that you can partake in. When it comes to flaws, this one I think is going to bother me more than other PC players. I really did not like how the controller controlled for this, especially when it comes down to the aiming. It feels really slow and not precise at all. I even switched to using mouse and keyboard, which allowed me to have a more natural feel to the game. Outside of it being not my preferred way of playing, this was the way I wanted to go after it. I do think that this is something that can get ironed out. I know that some might not even see this as an issue because they're just using mouse and keyboard. But if you're gonna have controller support, then it needs to be mostly good. Another thing that I had happen was a crash in the second area of my first run. I didn't lose much progress, thankfully, but stuff like this needs to be ironed out better for the players. Schism does feel like a combo between being a bullet hell type of a top-down shooter, along with being a roguelike with that addiction. As more of a casual player within this space, I found myself still being able to get into this one and finding the fun. It checks those boxes like having customization and personalization for any player to be able to choose and then dive into. I do hope that controller support gets more refined as the game goes along, as it's in its early access stage. And while I did have that one crash, thankfully it was just that one time in the game. While I'm not that good at it, I liked it, and would recommend if you enjoy these types of games, give this one a look. Have you heard of or played Schism? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.